And we go. Welcome to another issue of Embracing the Positive, this time with Chris Corr. Chris, welcome.
Hey, Alejo.
First question is always, who are you and what do you do?
Well, you already said my name, so we know I'm Chris Corr, right? And
That
I'm
was
the
in case you
real
forgot your name.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's been a while. But I'm the real estate development guy based in Wildlight.
Thank you. The premise is, while there's some negative stuff happening around us and to us, we're affected by this pandemic in different ways. There's a silver lining, and there are also positive things happening to us. And we want to hear from you. What are those for you? So, first question is, what's exciting, new, and positive happening to you personally?
Oh well, I agree with you. I think we're going to see good things come out of this. The kind of things that come to mind are, just the coming back home again. We were all, I think we all run pretty fast, through the workday, on the weekends. And we tend to work through convenience stores and drive-throughs, right? And, for me, this has been like a gigantic kind of a deep breath, the rat race is a little slower. You get reminded of the things that matter the most, and we've gathered up and reconnected with friends to check on folks and loved ones, and just reminded ourselves that health is a really important thing. So I mean, I could go on, Alejo, for an hour and a half about the silver linings, and I truly, honestly believe that we're going to be healthier as a planet after this. That we're going to be more aware and empathetic, in social situations. I think there's going to be operational improvements across so many industries. So this is you touched my heart on this, because I really do believe that. And I don't I hear folks talking about maybe the planet Earth needed a little break, and I kind of feel like that. I'm from Florida, so I don't know what a snow day is, but it's like we've had a big one here, and it's not all a bad thing.
What about your family, Chris?
Well, thankfully, our Florida grandchildren are in our bubble. We were on spring break when this started, so we had my daughter's two little girls and little boy together, in North Carolina on spring break, and then we kind of extended that because that was the first part of March, and as it was about mid-March when conditions started to change and schools closed and that sort of thing. So that was good because the little ones were in our bubble. So I'd say there's just a little more presence. We've always had grandchildren kind of in a rhythm of spending the night throughout the week, and so that's continued. And I get to see, especially Emma Grace, our little girl. She spends the night on Sundays with us. So since I've been here on Mondays, I've gotten to see her, more throughout the day. And yesterday I was here. Yesterday was Monday, and I look out at my window, right? So my desk faces my window, and I watched her with my wife, with Candy, and in the yard, and she had her watering can and she was watering flowers, and she had her sun hat on. It was the best thing ever. So that was my view was awesome. And I was on a Zoom once, and Emma Grace came through the Zoom without any clothes on. So that was, she's 3, by the way. So just so folks know that.
Thank you for the clarification.
She got dirty doing yard work. So anyway, I've had a great time. Just a little more presence, I think, honestly, with the family here.
Excellent.
I want to go off on it. I mean, I got a bigger picture thing in that, this, but but because we lost a grandson to a virus, a bigger picture, our Will King Foundation, that was the name of our little grandson that we set up. There's a new kind of relatable story to it, because Will and both his twin sister Caroline, got a virus when they were 3 days old, and Caroline has some health impacts. Will didn't make it, but we knew then how vulnerable little ones could be to a virus. It was a simple virus that was so devastating to them. And so we had been through learning about hand washing and social distancing and face masks. In fact, when this happened, we had I have 25 surgical grade face masks in here at the house, and we were sort of a little more aware maybe than some others as a result of that. But so I'll just say I think that for that it's been um, in some ways another kind of a communication mechanism for us to share that experience.
Thank you. What about work? What changes have you seen at work?
Well, in terms of work, I'll just say how proud I am of our team, and I mean, the real estate team, the senior leadership team, I mean, our one Rayonier team. I mean, um, I will say tactically, the one big change is we've learned how to use this kind of thing, these video conferencing. It's funny. The other day, I couldn't find my cell phone because I haven't used it because I've been on the video phone over and over again all day long, and I found once we learned Google Hangouts and Zoom and with some of our consultants we use this Microsoft Team platform. We just gone to it, and it's been fabulous. And I like it a lot. You can share information readily, and so there's no reason not to continue to be connected and communicating. And I've seen our team really rise to that occasion. Yesterday, I participated with the SLT on a Zoom with the board of directors. We also had a Zoom with the Pope real estate team. So I mean, it was just a typical day where honestly, I think we connected more and better with those audiences through the video than we might have otherwise if we hadn't learned how to use this thing. So that's been a real big deal. I mean, that's a real tactical comment. I think more big picture. I mean, this kind of experience it just exercises different muscles, right? I mean, resiliency, creativity, empathy, and I see that. I mean, I hear people asking each other about their health and how they're doing and about their families, and we don't, we're always too busy and focused on performance, and we don't stop to do that. So I like that kind of bit of this. It exercises muscles that you don't always get a chance to exercise, and that's been a positive thing for the team and for the in terms of business as well.
Thank you. Thank you. This is hard because I want to ask you 55 questions, and this would take us 5 hours. And I'm trying to keep them under under an hour.
And you got to focus me, right? Because
Yeah, no. Well, the last question is if this would ever become a movie, if this would ever become a movie, what actor will play you in the movie? What celebrity superstar will be Chris Corr?
What would you say, Alejo?
I can see Robert Redford playing you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. A young. That is the hardest question for me. Honestly, I don't. I would rather tell you who I think would play you. But,
Bring it on.
well, George Clooney, I think. I don't know why. I just see something about you.
Maybe my accent.
For sure. My thing is my daughter, right? So she she thinks she's funny. So she has forever and it's not a week that goes by that she doesn't send some meme or some joke where she thinks I'm Steve Carell, the guy in the office.
Yeah,
And so I hope I don't think that's a positive thing, right? But she thinks that's how I am, right? That I don't I've watched it a little and I think it's funny and I'm kind of okay with it, but she thinks that's real funny that I'm like Steve Carell in the office. So
perfect. That's a good place to end this
I
discussion.
don't
I
know.
like it.
Yeah, right.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us your heart, and thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time today.
Thanks for including me, and thanks for what you've been doing, Alejo. I think your communication, the team, and how you've been keeping us informed and engaged has just been fantastic. So thanks for keeping us engaged and together and connected. And there's nothing more important. So I really mean that sincerely. Great job.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
This was
sir.
another issue of embracing the positive with Chris Corr. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Alejo.